Air humping.
Hey guys, it's Warglass Gaming here, and, well, minus A,
As always.
for our Warglass Gaming retrospectives, as we're just going to call it for now on. For...
Wigig retrospectives. Anyways, this time we're doing 3D Mario.
Which is going to be a while, so...
It's only 7
I'll give
games,
you-
not too bad.
Okay, I'm going to give you a few seconds to pause. Go grab a snack, you know you want to. Go take a piss. And yeah, you're back. Okay, we're going to start with the first 3D platformer actually there was. Super Mario 64. And this is where the nostalgia train kind of hits, and now it's an explosion of nostalgia. This was my first 3D platformer. And I have memories of this because this was a Christmas present. Those are always special in anyone's hearts.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of this game. Only because, the thing is that
Well, it is dated.
the thing is that the first time I played 64 was through the DS remake. So I was used to all the things like the different play styles of the different characters, the better jump and handling of the characters. It was a overall better port. I did prefer the analog control as opposed to holding down a run button, but you can't really do analog control on a DS.
Unless they decide to remake the remake for the 3DS.
Maybe.
Remakeception.
But anyways, with Super Mario 64, it's not a bad game by any means in my book. I do own it on the Wii Virtual Console. I have beaten it a couple times. I enjoy it. It's just not my favorite 3D Mario game. That's just it. It's not my least favorite. We'll get to my least favorite eventually. Believe you me. But yeah.
That just doesn't sound right. Believe you me.
Believe me. Whatever. Anyways.
This is very high in my book. It's definitely not my favorite just because the other games play significantly better. Like, even people, let's say, the worst, Sunshine, is much higher in my book. But this has such a nostalgic value for me. Just being my first 3D platformer, it being bonding time with my dad, pretty much. Because we would, swap off trying to beat the mission, which were typically easy except for, 7. And the 100 coin missions. Those were annoying.
Yeah.
It's mainly just a nostalgic game and revolutionary in technology. It doesn't really hold a candle to what we have nowadays, but...
Yeah, but if I had to say something about this game that's good, is that it inspired a ton of games. This was the first game to have the wall jump, the ground pound, all that stuff.
The ledge grab.
Yeah, ledge grab.
Actually, that was in some 2D platformers on the Super Nintendo.
I'm talking about Mario wise.
Yeah, true.
But
the triple jump.
the dive.
The dive. Crawling, maybe?
Yeah.
I guess. The different caps, actually. Here.
Yeah, but I was going to say that the one thing I can say that I appreciate about 64 more so, I don't think I like as much as I appreciate what it did for the video game industry, and I do really like that it didn't rely on gimmicks. Like when we come up to Sunshine, we'll see the gimmick flood. The game was built around it, but it's still a gimmick. I like that 64 didn't have to rely on gimmicks and just provided fun level design for the most part. However, one thing I will say that I hate about the levels, there's multiples. There's 2 water worlds, 2 ice worlds, 2 mountain worlds essentially, because there's Womp Fortress and then Tall Mountain. Those are basically, or Tiny Huge Island technically would be a mountain.
Well, it's...
I just don't like the repeating level things.
Well, there was technically level gimmicks, actually. There was the clock.
Well, yeah, Take That Clock is really unique.
Well, actually,
Rainbow Ride is really unique.
Wait, hold on. There's level gimmicks, but there's not a total game gimmick.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I don't like the repeating of level themes.
That can work in the game's favor if it knows what it's doing, but in some levels, like Dire Docks
and Wet Dry World.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated Wet Dry World.
That's my least favorite world.
Raising and lowering the water.
Water Temple one? Oh, that's one we have to do. It's all the retrospective.
Yeah. Anyway.
How did we forget that one? Out of all the Nintendo...
Well, I mentioned it, and then I went straight to Kirby.
He likes little pink puffs.
hallucinogenics. Anyways,
Next game, honestly, because there's not much to say about 64 besides it was revolutionary and it's nostalgic. I do actually own 2 copies of this game and the guide.
actually, what's your favorite world and your favorite boss?
Favorite world? Tiny Huge. I love the basic gimmick of it, and it was really fun to explore.
Yeah. My favorite world is Cool Cool Mountain.
I like that one.
I just
when
love
people say not Dire Doxa. What was the first?
Jolly Roger Bay.
Jolly Roger Bay, like for the music, and I was like, yeah, I'll agree.
I like the underground cavern area. That was a unique area. I will say.
Actually, one thing to say, like this game's music was fantastic.
Well, the thing is,
I mean, it
about
was
this
basic.
game's music, I either remember it like this or can't remember it all. Like Tall Tall Mountain, can't remember it. Tick Tock Clock, can't remember. Rainbow Ride, I remember that.
That really
Jolly
didn't
Roger
have
Bay.
music.
Well, Jolly Roger Bay, I remember that.
Of course, everyone remembers that
Bob on Battlefield, I remember it.
because playing the game multiple times.
Yeah. Just
Or the Bowser theme.
yeah. There's just so many Bowser themes I get them mixed up sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
And of course the Bowser laugh.
I'm glad they fixed. Did they fix? Yeah, they fixed that in DS.
Mhm.
Yeah, that made it actually sound like.
And so long, gay Bowser.
I love that. The internet has ruined so many people.
Yeah. I mean, it is a good game. Don't get me wrong when I say that it isn't my favorite. It is a perfectly fine game. It's not my favorite. But what do you say we move on to the next one,
All right,
which is Sunshine?
break out your swim trunks because it's about to get wet in here.
Now, I said before that we'd be getting to my least favorite Mario game. This is not it. I do not get why people say that they hate this game. This is actually in my
One of
top.
the most consistent, honestly.
I will say that this Super Mario Sunshine is my second favorite 3D Mario game.
I know which one's your favorite.
Yeah.
This is probably my third favorite. Honestly, it's great. They had a game gimmick, which honestly was a very bad idea
Well-
in Nintendo's part.
Well, the thing is, I like the way that they went with it. Most games that have gimmicks, they make the game and then they add the gimmick. This game made the gimmick, then built the levels around that gimmick.
And honestly, here's the thing: it's a fun gimmick.
Yeah.
If it was like a really boring gimmick, it would suck. But here, you could be like the hovering Spider-Man or
Yeah.
something.
And also, I found out that in most levels, if you really don't want to use FLUDD for whatever reason, you don't have to. You're mobile enough that you can get through the levels without FLUDD, but FLUDD gives you that extra maneuverability and easiness to land. I mean, obviously, there's some things where you need FLUDD, like swinging on the tight ropes in Bianco Hills to reach the rocket nozzle.
Or, well, the rocket nozzle in general,
Well,
the
yeah.
hover nozzle.
Yeah. I mean,
Or not the hover nozzle, the jet nozzle? Turbo?
Turbo, yeah.
Turbo nozzle.
I mean, there are a lot of places where you need to use the nozzle, especially like a final boss or bosses in general.
But there's mainly in the first like 3 worlds,
Yeah,
you
but-
don't really need
yeah.
to use them.
I mean, mainly with platforming challenges, for the most part, you don't need to use them.
Oh, the platforming challenges. Like, that's probably one of my favorite parts of the game, just
Yeah.
because, in my opinion, this is the best controlling Mario.
I'd say,
Galaxy.
well, the thing is, best controlling Mario when you're using FLUDD because you can pinpoint. Without FLUDD, Mario, I feel, is actually a little slippery.
He's a little slippery, but it's kind of like, it's understandably slippery,
Yeah.
considering him.
Yeah.
Oh, and this game is the only game where you're not actually collecting stars, you're collecting the shine sprites.
It might as well be stars. It's
Yeah.
like in 3D World where you're rescuing Sprixies instead of Peach.
Or like, well, example, Banjo-Kazooie or DK64 or Golden Bananas and Jiggies. It's, like,
Yeah.
it's the MacGuffin.
Yeah.
It's the MacGuffin.
But one thing that I will say that I don't like about Sunshine is, though there was a central gimmick built around FLUDD, there were a lot of other gimmicks I did not like, such as,
Melon pushing.
yeah, that. I mean, another one that isn't as like horrible but still isn't exactly great is blooper surfing.
Yeah, that's pretty meh.
Yeah. Or Yoshi.
Yoshi, it's only annoying in like 3 levels.
I think I
The
can't.
harbor.
No, Yoshi. I will say I hate using Yoshi in Pianta Village to get that one secret under the.
Don't remind me. God,
Getting Yoshi down there with his like floaty jump is the
his
worst
floaty jump.
experience
The
ever.
fact that you need to. You're timed basically.
Yeah.
It's just like I remember.
And if you feel you
It
have to
took
go
me
all
in-
the way back into the village to get the fruit from the tree, bring it back to Yoshi, go back underneath, and try again.
Yeah. I remember that took me an entire afternoon to get that one sprite.
Yeah.
That was not fun.
Even then, Yoshi himself isn't even all that fun, especially in Rico Harbor, like you said, with like squirting the juice at the fish.
Yeah, trying to make those platforms, and again, you're timed. Actually, you're timed in 2 areas: the platforms and Yoshi's life.
Yeah.
Since he gets hungry,
But really, that's
he eats more than a stoner.
But really, we've only mentioned like 3 or 4 level shines in this entire game that we don't like. The rest, I would say, are excellent.
They're well integrated. They're not too difficult to get, but they provide enough challenge to where you, well, don't feel like you're being handheld too long.
Yeah,
Another game.
Well, I
I'll
feel
bring
that
up.
I feel that Sunshine does the best job of the 3D Mario games of basically giving you a challenge and say, go ahead. Basically, not holding your hand through that, because in 64 you could argue that there was stuff, but there were things where if you wanted to, you could exploit, like the owl in Whomp's Fortress.
Mm-hmm. And a few wall jumping glitches.
Yeah.
A couple. There was one point where you could actually glitch to run on water.
Well, I'm not talking so much glitches, but like things that are there. It's like, oh, you're having trouble. You know, there's this right there that you can
Or some of the
exploit.
cannons.
Yeah, some of the cannons.
I know, yeah, there's plenty of things in there that was like not really exploitable, more additional usage.
Yeah. But Sunshine, I feel for the most part, it's a fair challenge where it's not too hard, but it's not holding your hand either.
Especially in the floodless levels.
Yeah.
Like, some of those can be hard.
Yeah. But it's the fun kind of hard, minus the chucksters. It's a fun kind of hard for the most part, where it's a good platforming challenge, and if you fail, you feel like it's something that you did wrong. Again, minus chucksters.
Yeah, because chucksters, screw them.
Yeah. Anything? Well, actually, since we did it for 64, what's your favorite level and favorite boss?
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go favorite boss first. PD Piranha 2. His second fight, it was just so fun for me. The hotel was my favorite level, honestly.
Okay.
The opening mission was so interesting. It was actually kind of creepy.
Yeah. My favorite boss is the Manta Ray.
Yep.
Yeah, and my favorite level, I'd have to say, is Noki Bay.
Noki Bay is really fun,
Yeah.
except the first time I went after the fish and the eel. I had so much issues with that my first time.
I love that mission.
Oh yeah, now for me it's fun, but the first time it was just a pain.
Yeah. Also, I love
the tooth.
I love the reference of looking into the light.
Yeah, I will admit that's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, it's remake time.
Super Mario 64 DS.
And
May I?
Stage is yours.
First 3D Mario game I ever played, right here.
So we pretty much have sort of a shared first. It's 64.
Yeah. Because I remember, I believe, I'm trying to remember what the name of the store is, because currently the name of the store is Justice. It's like a girl's store or whatever. But I remember they had this DS section.
Oh yeah, they had these little game kiosk things.
Yeah.
And some
And-
like Kohl's,
Yeah.
random stuff.
And they had pretty much constantly 4 games on display. They were Nintendogs, Super Princess Peach, Mario Party DS, and Super Mario 64 DS.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. And of course, my mom lets me pick out one. I say, And me being innocent, I didn't realize that Super Mario 64 DS was like a remake of 64 because I actually didn't realize that there was a Super Mario 64 because I was naive. Anyways, I was like
at the time.
yeah, I was thinking like, wow, 64th game. I was an idiot, but
I've had worse.
anyways, I was excited to play, and when I brought it home, and I played just Bob-omb Battlefield, and just destroyed King Bob-omb with Yoshi. Oh, I just had so much fun. I mean,
That makes me want to just go borrow my sister's DS and just play.
yeah, I mean, I love the difference of playstyles between Yoshi, Mario. I mean, Yoshi can't attack directly; he has to throw eggs at his enemies or eat them. Mario, basically is just how he played, and is basically the original version of Super Mario 64. Luigi can like kind of like flutter in the air, like he doesn't go up like Yoshi with his flutter jump. He kind of stays at the same altitude, but Luigi can also run on water for a short amount of time. And then as for Wario, he's slow and doesn't have a high jump, but he's very strong.
Yeah, so
And
different playstyles to characters definitely add some different things and new puzzles.
yeah. Also, I love the cap ideas. How it's like, say you're Luigi, but you need to be Wario for this section. You put on a Wario cap and you become Wario.
So you become a smelly man.
Yeah, and I also love the obstacle courses to get the different characters. Like I remember one of my favorite things to do was to go to King Goomba's
Was it King Goomba's lair or something like that?
something like that, yeah, and just trash him daily with like all 4 characters each day. It's like Yoshi, Mario, Luigi, Wario. Let's go! I'm just gonna trash you. Ugh, so many memories.
So many memories, so little time.
Yeah.
One thing that was actually... I don't have much memories of this game because I had the original, and I actually didn't even play this game till 3 years ago. Actually, back when I was in the hospital for emergency surgery I had to have, and my sister brought in her DS and a few of her games and basically said, try and stay awake. And I did. I originally popped in New Super Mario Brothers, which I'll get to that, because that was the first time I played that game. But I popped this in because I'm like, oh, Super Mario 64.
Well, we're not doing New Super Mario Bros.
I know, but I meant like at a later date.
Okay.
But I popped this game in, and okay, one, I really hated the D-pad controls.
Well, I'm sure that's only because you were used to 64.
Yeah, it's because I was used to 64
Me
and
starting
Sunshine.
out with this game before 64 or Sunshine, I was okay with it,
Yeah,
frankly.
I did like the bomb screen map idea. That was really cool.
I love the mini games.
the minigame. Oh, the minigames were fun. I've spent hours. on
Oh
those
yeah, the trampoline game,
Luigi's
Casino.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What was the one? It was like, was it like Texas Hold'em or something like that?
It
You
was
place a bet and you can hold cards. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I was dealt these cards. I'll hold these two.
and then there's like a matching game.
Yeah.
I think there was like a slot game. I think.
Once I get a DS capture device in that game, we're definitely gonna spend like an hour playing this.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I could just talk forever on this game. I mean, I love how instead of like there being a wing cap, invisible cap, and a metal cap, it's unique to the different characters. Wario has metal cap,
Which
Luigi
makes sense for
has invisible cap, Mario has wing cap, and Yoshi gets basically a fireball.
Basically fire breath, which was actually I really liked how they used that in some of the levels.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really much I could say about this game, and it's basically Super Mario 64. So
Yeah. And actually, one thing I forgot to mention about Super Mario 64 that I like is the non-linearity, where if you go into the level and you're able to find a different star, you can collect that before others.
oh yeah, like one thing people always did is they would go to Bob-omb Battlefield, get a
the
couple.
chomp. Get the chomp.
No, get a couple stars. Here's the thing.
Oh.
Get a couple stars in there from the missions. Go to like either Whomp's Fortress or Peach's Secret Room, or what was it called?
Peach's Secret Side.
Secret Side. So it's like normally, what I do is actually just get 3 stars, go to Cool Mountain, or no, actually, I think I could get up to 4 in there. Yeah, I can get up to 4. Go to Cool Mountain and just do something different. And honestly, the fact that you can do that is really cool, and it's kind of revolutionary in that idea, because not even the competitors on the N64 did something like that.
Yeah.
Like DK64, you only had the first level, and everything was unlocked linear. Same with Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Tooie, sort of.
Yeah.
I'll get on that one another time. Actually, that's one thing we should do, Rareware platformers.
But what say we move on
To the granddaddy of them all.
my favorite 3D Mario game.
Knew it.
Is it yours?
No, you're actually going to hate mine.
I think I know which one it is. Screw you. Anyway, Super Mario Galaxy is my favorite Mario 3D platformer.
And I don't blame you. It's a fantastic title, worthy of anyone's number 1, really.
I just love how unique and diverse the level themes are. How it feels like a Mario game, but it feels like you're actually in space. I love the hub world of the Comet Observatory. I love the backstory that they give to Rosalina, just as like a side thing. I love pretty much every level with like. I think there's only one level that I don't like, which is
Description.
Sea Slide.
Seems like I hate that.
The one with the purple coin, and not silver. Yeah, purple coins and silver stars. Yeah.
The Silver Star one I didn't mind. It was the purple coin that
Yeah,
sucked.
that one just drove me up a wall.
The haunted level in the kitchen,
No, I like that one.
the purple coin mission. That's the one that.
Oh, I completed that on like my 3rd try. I completed the Boulder Guys Daredevil run on my 2nd try. Isn't that damn hard?
I still haven't beaten that to this day.
Anyways,
Then again, I have a lot of games in that category.
there's just so much I love about this game.
The level, like the game itself, looked beautiful. Like Super Mario Sunshine looked pretty good. The water effect was great.
This game pushed the Wii to its limits. The opening cutscene, the first time I saw it, I thought it was incredible.
I think my dad had to pick my jaw off the floor. Just
Yeah. And the thing is, I didn't get this launch day. I wanted to, but I couldn't because I didn't have enough money. So basically, as soon as
I got
possible,
it the week after,
I got it off of eBay about like I think it was like a month after.
and then you sold it. Then you got another copy.
Yeah, I don't remember why I sold it. I think actually I think I do remember because I needed money to buy an iPhone because that was the thing I wanted at the time. It's like okay, I guess I can sell this game, and then I regretted it until
Then you bought another copy
until
for like
just like
$7.
last year I bought the Nintendo Select edition for no, it was $20.
No, didn't you? I thought you got it used.
Yeah, you're right. For actually, it was $10.
It was $10.
Yeah, I got the Nintendo Select version, and I've just been playing through it again. I just love pretty much every single.
Another thing we have to
Galaxy.
mention with the presentation, music.
Yeah,
The music is godly.
yeah.
There's a reason when the official soundtrack was released, within 20 minutes it was completely sold out.
I will say one negative thing about this game. It has a tendency to hold your hand at times.
A
Granted,
pretty large tendency. at times.
Granted that is more so towards the early half of the game as
The later half doesn't really do it at all.
I mean, the best way I can see this are boss weak spots.
I mean, what was the snake one?
Snake?
It was like it goes around the planet.
That's
Muncher?
That's 2. Gobblegut is Galaxy 2.
Oh, that's good. Or like,
No, I'm talking about like say Dino Piranha, giant seed on its tail, Bouldergeist.
the Mech Walker thing. I don't know the boss names that well.
Mecha Bowser?
No, it's not Mecha Bowser. It's a 3-legged moon walker thing.
Oh, Mega Leg.
Mecha Leg. That thing had a pretty obvious weak spot, and it's just like, wow, that's easy.
Well, that was only obvious because that's where the star you needed to collect was.
Yeah.
But that one was epic because you got to scale the thing.
Shadow of the Colossus Mario.
Also, I love the gravity gimmicks. I mean,
Some of them were kind of finicky. If you jumped in a weird spot, you could kind of get stuck.
yeah, but
But they mostly prevented that with good logic.
yeah, but the thing is, this game I think is the best example of how to implement motion controls. Period. I mean, it's there where it's like you shake the Wiimote and you spin, and it's responsive 100% of the time, and it feels natural.
The only thing that I feel wasn't really well implemented was the pointer, because sometimes it was a little finicky. But then again, we
Well,
could blame that for the
It-
hardware.
Yeah, it's new technology. But I will say though, another thing besides a kind of hand holding towards the beginning that I don't like, are how gimmicky some of the power ups can be. Specifically the spring.
The spring, the Bisou was pretty gimmicky.
Well, I can give that a pass since it was fun to use.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
One thing I hated is they sort of brought back the wing cap with the, was it just the power of flight thing?
It's the red star.
The red star. And they didn't use it in a single level. It was
No, they
just a
used
hub.
it in Gateway.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, for the purple coins.
I did not get to that level then.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, I did. Never mind. I'm stupid. No, they didn't really use it in any other levels.
No,
it was
it's
just
only
one
counted
level and a hub
observatory.
world.
Oh, it was so much missed potential.
And they
What
didn't
I-
bring it back.
What I so wanted was after you unlock it, you can go through and find shortcuts with it. How awesome would that be? Shortcuts through other levels with that star.
Then again, that would make some levels pretty dang broken.
Yeah, but imagine the possibility for New Game Plus speedruns.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, it was such a missed opportunity.
One thing I feel was lacking in this game was just general power-ups. I can only remember the spring and the bee suit.
Boo Mario.
Oh, Boo Mario. Well, that was only used in so many levels. Honestly, it was just a short period.
Yeah. Rainbow Star, of
Oh.
course.
Rainbow Star. I only remember the one where you had to run to the spiral.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's like one of only like 3 times it was used actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were right about power-ups, but there's just so many little things that give the game charm, like just like little nuances, like when you're swimming with a shell and you press the Z button to slow down, there's the brake lights in the leg holes of the shell.
I did not know that, actually. That's funny.
Yeah. Or how like the Mario Kart games, red shells home in on targets while green shells just go straight.
I'm glad they implemented that, because honestly, that's just like, I don't know, it's like the species, the red homing turtle
Yeah.
and the green stupid turtle.
Yeah.
Or Koopa. I remember this game mainly because me and my dad played it. The last time I went back to it, I actually just didn't really enjoy it. I don't know why. I'm probably going to go back to it once I fix my Wii and find 5,000 things I love.
Well, the thing about this game is that if you play it like after either, like you can't play in conjunction with the sequel. You'll get tired of it because the sequel is essentially an expansion pack for it, essentially. So if you play one right after the other, you're gonna get tired of the whole.
It's like when
thing.
you play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and then you play Majora's Mask.
Pretty much, yeah.
You've spent all your time playing Ocarina of Time that you've sort of burned yourself out.
Or if you play Link to the Past and then go straight to Link's Awakening.
I actually didn't have that issue.
I did. Granted, I didn't like Link to the Past to begin with, but that's for a different time.
And we're going to piss off some of my fanboys.
Yep.
It's going to be fun,
Yeah.
considering my favorite.
Anyways,
To his most hated and my favorite. Galaxy 2.
Wait, no. The Galaxy 2 is my most hated.
What was your most hated?
Oh, we'll get to it. Believe me. Anyways, Galaxy 2 is my third favorite.
Oh, it's your third favorite?
Yeah, right after Sunshine.
Many people hate this game for being the same thing. I felt it was just a little bit more Mario, because I remember Mario being bright colors, bright atmosphere, and overall, like with Galaxy, everything was in a dimmer tone. It had a bright contrast to it, but it just wasn't like bright.
The thing I don't like about this game is that I feel that it's using the name of the game to sell copies. Mario Galaxy. The first one was such a success. Let's make another one. And it doesn't feel like you're in space. I mean, that's the whole charm to me of the first one. It felt like this is a new environment. you're in space. There's so many places you can explore. In the second game, with the exception of maybe one or two of like the Bowser levels, I don't get that at all. I mean, it's just
For me,
it's like tree level, water level, ice level.
it was sort of trying to simulate how different environments of space are. Because
Yeah.
honestly, we could go to Mercury, hottest place. Go to Venus, or not Venus, Venus? No,
Yeah, I mean, and you
Neptune
can
or something. It's like
and you
Skull.
can have that kind of stuff in there, but include some stuff that reminds you of space too, like the first game had space junk. Oh my goodness, that was incredible.
The music.
Yeah.
Or no, that was Battle Rock.
Yeah, Battle Rock reminded me of space. So did Dreadnought. I mean, yeah, the first game was the first game had stuff like Gusty Garden and Beach Bowl, which didn't really feel like space either, but there were a lot of levels that did feel like space. Also, in Galaxy 2, I wasn't a huge fan. Actually, I was not a fan at all. If Mario Galaxy held your hand a little bit towards the beginning, this game holds your hands a lot all the way through.
I will admit that was frustrating when I played through it, but honestly, it reminded me so much of 64, I didn't care. I didn't care that it was holding my hand. I didn't care that it didn't look like space. I didn't care. It was fun. Jump cut. We got interrupted because people don't know what. Please stop at the door. We're recording. Text me. Anyway, we were talking about hand holding in Super Mario Galaxy 2 because people thought it wasn't a kid's game.
Just
That I know that terminology is like a kid's game can teach you the game, but it can't hold your hand forever.
conveys. Watch Sequelitis, a game teaching you how to play it through its gameplay, through its story. There shouldn't have to be tutorials.
To a degree.
And there shouldn't have to be things where, oh, you can't do this? Well, let the game play it itself.
Super guides. Fuck those.
And
No one likes them.
freaking Bronze Star.
Oh, the bronze. It's like, oh, here's a bronze star because you suck.
Because kids can't stand to fail.
Seriously, I mean that's the best way of putting our country's teaching.
Yeah.
And honestly, despite all these problems that were not present in the first Galaxy, I still preferred this one. I like the level gimmicks a little bit more. They were a little bit more interesting and unique. And honestly, I like the hub world a little bit more.
What? I hate Starship Mario. There's nothing to do on it. It's too small. And, okay, I might sound crazy here, but I'd rather have some just Lumas flying around in the distance, just signifying that the Comet Observatory is getting more life to it than just a random penguin on a tree stump that I can talk to.
But here's the thing. The focus is not in the hub world. Why would you focus so much on the hub world? There's nothing to gain. Then focus on the levels. The hub world is there as sort of your like temporary base, your hotel room for a convention. You don't spend hours there. You spend, well, okay, sleeping hours, but you're not really spending time there as you're more passed out on the bed. Really comfy bed. Waiting to go for the next day of convention.
Yeah, but the point is, it's still a part of the game, and it's a part of the game that I don't like, and I think it's a flaw.
To others, it is a flaw, and I like how it is.
Okay.
It's small, it's compact, and I do like how they did the level select. I do like that.
I actually prefer just going from like room to room, like.
Well, that's
like,
just you.
Yeah, that is just me and other people, and other people agree with you, but I like the people who agree with me more.
I'm glad they at least tried the simpler style of level select. I mean, they did bring it back for 3D World and 3D Land.
Yeah.
So, then again, that's more quick, and 3D World is less about whatever. I like the game. Most people don't.
I don't hate the game. I mean, please don't get that assumption. It's just compared to other 3D Mario games, especially something like Sunshine, it's just far too easy. Galaxy One, in the beginning, it falls into this category where it's so easy that I can almost like turn my brain off while playing it. But towards the end of Galaxy One, it got hard. Like the I think it was like the last lava level. That one was like really difficult with the raining meteors.
Yeah.
That one actually like gave me a lot of trouble. This game almost all the way through, except for maybe the special world,
Which honestly, duh.
I could almost pretty much turn my brain off playing it, and to me that isn't fun.
Well, another thing with this is the first game I pre-ordered. This is the first game I ever pre-ordered, and I was excited for it.
Well, this was the first game I actually like followed like religiously. Like I got this like launch day. I went to my local GameStop and got it full price. And I went home, started playing it, and I did really like it. In the beginning, it's just
You were kind of disappointed compared to what you already experienced.
I was expecting a brand new game. I got an expansion pack essentially.
That's what most Ocarina of Time fanboys describe about Majora's Mask. Zing!
Well, the thing about Majora's Mask, I know this is really off topic. The thing about Majora's Mask is that it was different enough to be labeled its own game. I mean, it was a different world. I mean,
Sort of. It's the same planet, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the temples were very similar, but not only that, but the story itself was actually a lot different, and that I think helped
Well,
it.
honestly, we're
helped
gonna
it,
get to this in the next one, which actually, I'll do it next.
I don't have it written out.
We'll read it then. Anyway,
Anyways,
we're moving on to another console. Super Mario 3D Land.
this is my least favorite.
I've only played like 10 minutes of it.
May I ask the developers of this game? You have an analog stick. Why do you need to have a run button?
I'm just gonna say for the beta software, they weren't really interested in developing that. But then I don't know.
That makes no sense to me. Not even like from a business standpoint. It's like, what sense?
I think it's sort of like to half emulate 3D and 2D, which I can slightly understand that, but it didn't work out that well.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I do
there's
think
a sequel on the way for it, so
as for the 3D gimmick, I thought it was kind of clever at some points, especially with like the 3D maze puzzles, and the fact that you can go like obviously foreground and background, and like there were special secrets in the background. It kind of reminded me of like Super Paper Mario in that way, but I mean, it's by no means a bad game, but to be honest,
generic pilot is actually the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
Because they don't tread too much dangerous water. They actually added a few cool gimmicks with the accelerometer and the 3D gimmick, which honestly, I don't really care for a 3D, but it had more depth in some levels, which looked really cool.
yeah, but this game is easy, not because it holds your hand, but because the platforming challenges aren't challenges. You run little to no risk of dying in your
Especially with the Tanuki leak.
Yeah.
Or leaf.
Tanuki leak.
I have veggies on the mind, apparently.
Anyways, the just the standard level doesn't give you much of a challenge at all, with like a couple of exceptions. And if it's hard, it's cheap hard. Is the way I see it.
Which is not how you make a game.
No, I mean, once you unlock Luigi, once you beat the game with Mario, I mean, Luigi is a bit more difficult, but stop looking at GIFs on your phone.
I'm listening.
Anyways, Luigi is a bit more difficult, but it's basically playing the same game again. And actually, may I just say that's another thing I absolutely hate about Galaxy 2, F the green stars.
Yeah, I completely agree there. The green stars,
I can't believe
they were unnecessary.
I can't believe we forgot that.
The most piss-inducing rage in the entire game.
Galaxy 1, the green stars were difficult.
3 bonus stars, basically.
Yeah, 3 bonus stars, which you could get if you won 100%. There was no extra level at the end, so you did not technically have. Well, actually, technically there was the Peach's Castle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but those were fairly like, and there were only 3 of them. First off, and they were in one centralized location, the Grandmaster Galaxies,
And they were in the hub world, so if you need to take a game over, because honestly, for some of them, I had to take a game over. It was no major deal.
And also, that's not how you got the green stars. You got the green stars on everyday levels. The green stars unlock those.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said everyday levels.
And,
But in Galaxy 2, there's a green star for every, power star. And I can't stand it. It's just...
There's a couple that are easy, and then everything else is just like, you have to think so
middle finger to the audience.
Pretty much. Like, you have to jump so far out. You have to make these stupidly precise jumps.
Where it's off camera.
It's off camera.
Unless you zoom in first person, you can't see it. It makes you...
It's basically like the alien code from Secret Agent Clink. You just have to look everywhere. And you'll feel so tempted to use it.
You know what it reminds me of? Chozo Artifacts, Metroid Prime. Well, you know how some of them are just a pain to find if you don't have a guide of any sort.
Fendron and Drifts?
Well, I'm talking about one in particular that's in the Space Pirate base, I think it was. That's behind a power bombable wall. After that, you have to use a super missile on some boxes that you don't know you can super missile, and in there is a Chozo artifact.
Oh, I remember getting that one. Then again, I used the guide to get all these because I'm like...
So did I, because...
I'm not going unprepared for that.
Yeah.
But this... off that 3D Land.
Sorry. Yeah, we totally went on a tangent.
Yeah, rage-inducing tangent, but...
Anyways, 3D Land.
It was a good start to the series of 3D World Land thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, for trying a pseudo 3D platformer on the 3DS, I say they did a good job.
You know what I wish they would have done with the title, though? Since it's obviously a sequel to the Mario Land series, Super Mario Land 3D.
Ah, that would have been good. That's a good one.
But nope.
No. Well, we can dream in our heads.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it's not a horrible game, but it's my least favorite of the 3D Mario games.
And now we get on to one of the most surprising, in my opinion.
Yeah.
3D World.
Okay, the way I say 3D World...
3D World.
3D World. It's not fun with 4 players. It's not exactly fun with 1 player. You either need 2 or 3 people in order to have the most amount of fun.
You need to make sure these players are decent.
Yeah.
If you have just... Insert Tim here. The guy who's just lacking behind, taking everyone's lives. And especially...
Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis. I didn't watch that yet, but still. It's not fun. But if you have like a couple skilled players, like, well, if me and you would play, like, we would have a pretty good time.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they added a cat suit because finally we have a cat-based power-up in a Japanese game.
Well, 2. Because we have the normal cat and then the lucky cat.
Oh yeah, lucky cat. Which is actually pretty broken if you know how to use it.
Yeah.
Infinite lives. Oh yeah, and you have a shared life counter in multiplayer. And they dropped the limit of 99 to, what was it, 9,999?
Yeah.
No, it was more than that.
Well, it's like crown is the max life.
Yeah, which is like, insert ridiculous number here.
Yeah.
I'll probably edit in.
Yeah, you can watch the completionist video because he says the number.
Yeah, it's just like, what the frick?
But
you can get so many lives in that game.
This game,
ridiculous.
I appreciate this game for being the first genuinely difficult game, 3D Mario game, in a long time.
It was a very nice progressive scale. Like, you know, Galaxy 2, there was like no challenge throughout. There was like mild challenge here and there for like going through the comets. And like at the end, it's just like difficult.
Yeah, because there's like World 1 through 6. Then you get to, excuse me, World 7, which is World, technically, Castle.
Castle World's hard, right?
Jump cut again.
My bowels had to eject themselves.
Anyways, you go through levels 1 through 6, normal. Then level 7 is World, Castle, World, Forward, whatever. And there you have quote unquote final battle with Bowser. Then
Don't they double fake you out?
kinda, yeah. Because after that, then you go to World Bowser. After that, you have the ability to go to World. I believe first it is World Star. I want to say, then World Mushroom, then World Flower.
I think it was actually Mushroom, Flower.
No, I know
Star.
Mushroom isn't first.
Mushroom is the first.
No, because I know in World Star, I'm pretty sure it is what it is. You unlock Rosalina,
Okay.
and then eventually you get to World Crown. And World Crown has the hardest levels. And my goodness, it is crazy.
To do a full 100% completion on this, you need to beat, what was it, every of the special worlds with every character.
Every single level.
Every single level with every single character. So you have to beat every level.
Top of the flagpole.
Top flagpole 5 times.
Unless you have 3 other friends, in which case you only have to do it twice.
Yeah. Sort of. I mean, gain 100% in Banjo-Kazooie.
Wait, plus all green stars,
All
plus
green stars.
all stamps.
Plus all stamps, plus... I think there's a couple other things, like you have to get a couple of Easter egg things or something like that.
I don't know.
But to get 100% in this game is such a pain to some people that actually people have labeled it do not complete. I mean, it's not as bad as DK64. I mean, I don't think anything will be that bad.
Monster Hunter 3.
Fuck your couch. Actually, you don't even need to get all the armor for a completion.
I'm talking about defeating all the monsters.
That's not too hard.
I heard that you don't fight your first real monster until 40 hours in.
No,
Really?
3 hours in.
Oh.
Then again, there's a huge chunk of tutorial. Then again, for that game, I don't mind tutorial because Monster Hunter needs it.
Anyways, we're getting off tangent.
That'll be an...
Off tangent, off topic.
Yay, we know how to speak.
Yay, we tired.
We have soda.
Yay.
Well, that was the last of the 3D games. Honestly, well, actually, my experience with 3D World, I only played a demo of it, and I want to get a Wii U because of this game. I mean, there's other games I want to get with it. But this game sort of said to me, okay, we need to get a Wii U. It gave me the same amount of fun as I did playing Super Mario 64. The levels were just as bright, just as colorful, and they had just as much charm. And it was fun. And that's one reason I can say that the Wii U is worth getting. It's fun.
Yeah. How about this? Let's go through our top 7 3D Mario games. You first.
Alright. Number 7, 3D Land. I'd have to say above that is 64 DS, Galaxy, then 3D World, Sunshine, 64 then Sunshine. Sunshine is pretty much my number 1, or Galaxy 2 on top of that, sorry.
Okay. Number 7 for me is 3D Land. Number 6. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to make slides for this then.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Number 6 is 3D World. Number 5 is 64. Number 4 is 64 DS. Number 3 is Galaxy 2. Number 2 is Sunshine, and number 1 is Galaxy.
Alright. And this is going to be fun splicing all this together, but this has been Wireglass Gaming for another retrospective, and we wish you farewell.